Picture yourself late at night when the power suddenly cuts out. The fridge dies, the router blinks off, even your phone screen fades to black. Everything is suddenly perfectly quiet. This total absence of noise is technically what we call peace. But instead of relaxing, you feel a sharp, physical restlessness tightening in your chest. Without the external hum to occupy your attention, your brain immediately fills the vacuum. Unresolved arguments, old memories, and anxieties about next week start rushing in like a flood. You find yourself reaching through the dark for a charger or a remote, not because you have something important to do, but because you need a sound, any sound, to break the tension. We reach for these distractions as a reflex. We aren't seeking information. We are actively running away from the experience of sitting alone with our own minds. Silence is often blamed for causing this anxiety, but it actually functions as a mirror. It reveals the discomfort that was already present. Look at these two overlapping waveforms. The massive, chaotic one on top represents external noise, your job, your notifications, the sounds of the city. Beneath it is a smaller, erratic wave, your internal thoughts. Usually, your mind feels calm because outer noise masks inner noise. When the external waveform levels out, the masking is gone. You are left staring at the internal turbulence you've avoided all day. Ancient Vedic philosophy describes the human mind as a system that is never truly still. It is designed to move, craving constant external objects to latch onto. These texts compare the mind to a monkey jumping between branches, or wild horses pulling in different directions. It is a machine of perpetual motion. When you remove the external branches for the monkey to grab, the movement doesn't stop. It just turns inward, making the mind's restlessness feel louder and more intense than before. That physical urge to move is the shock of finally noticing the relentless, exhausting machinery of your own mind. Total quiet poses a direct threat to the way you define yourself. We build our identity using external anchors. This central circle, the self, is held by rigid tethers connected to your job, social status, roles, and digital presence. In silence, these external nodes dissolve. The tethers snap, leaving the central circle unanchored in empty space, without external reference points to prove it exists. Ancient insights suggest our greatest fear is this loss of separation. The ego defines itself by what it is not, by reacting to things outside of itself. When you are doing nothing and hearing nothing, the ego loses its mirrors. It has no feedback loop to confirm its own boundaries. The mind interprets this lack of external feedback as the total erasure of the self. That survival reflex you feel in the silence is the ego fighting off what it perceives as its own disappearance. But if your thoughts, emotions, and roles are constantly shifting and disappearing, they cannot be your actual foundation. There is a version of you that simply observes the chaos. This is the quiet awareness that remains even when the thoughts stop. Think of your awareness as this steady, bright rectangular screen. Chaotic shapes flash across it and disappear, but they never leave a mark on the surface. The screen doesn't change just because the movie is violent or loud. The next time you feel the urge to check your phone to escape the quiet, try to stay. Just sit with the discomfort. If you wait long enough, the mental chaos eventually runs out of energy. The restlessness begins to slow down on its own. As the panicked ego realizes it isn't actually dying, the turbulence fades, leaving behind a stable, underlying clarity. Silence stops being a void to be filled and becomes a clear vantage point. It provides the distance needed to see the mind's movement without being swept away by it.